Hello everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm here, the extra spare wingman person. I'm here with Nick Hunter. Nick Hunter, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Right, so today is the last 2 days of Nick for the year. Yeah, welcome everyone to another exciting day at fmtrain.tv. I'm going to come up with the upcoming broadcast schedule so everyone's on the same page. I'm going to make this a little bigger. If you go to fmtrain.tv, you can take a look at, we have the broadcast schedule for today and tomorrow. Then Christmas, we are off. Then in between here, you'll notice that there's a week missing in here. The week is missing because, well, we're not going to be doing anything next week. It's kind of one of those sort of things. So we don't have any plans. In the event that Nick gets to a point where he wants to do some beta testing with Starting Point, we will do an ad hoc audible. You'll get an alert probably on your email letting you know that there's an event that's going to go on. As a reminder that we are actively getting ready for the certification training. So, in fact, some people have been saying, hey, I'd really like to buy our bundle, our training for their family members. So we do a lot of free stuff, but if you want our training bundle, you click over here, so you get FM Train at TV. That's a live training schedule, which is free. You get the bundles here, which are not free. The complete bundle gets you access to everything. It's really like the key to everything, even to Nick's heart. Nick will love you. It's a key to love and unconditional happiness forever, right? So that's what you want to buy for love and unconditional happiness, or happiness and unconditional love, whatever works for you. This one right here, you click on that and pay with a credit card. And of course, that brings up the certification training. So you press that button right here, and we are going to help get you past the certification test. That's the goal. This training, which will start January 10th, will be recorded. So if you have our complete training bundle right down here, if you have our complete training bundle and it's current, you can attend live, you can ask questions, or you can watch the recording after the fact. But the goal is not to teach you how to be a better developer, or how to make a faster solution, or how to make server work better, or how to avoid ransomware. It's only about the certification test and passing it. So some of you were asking the question of the day, well, Richard, you're easily distracted and you get, sidetracked. And it's like, so no. That's going to be about the certification training. So that is there. It's coming up. We are actively, in fact, I'm not here. Nick's here, but I'm working on that. So, cool. Great. Any questions from anyone? Nick, are you about ready to go? I'm going to let Margaret kind of run this a little bit. We have questions. And we do have people asking about the sample file. Did they get the sample file tomorrow on this thing, Nick?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes. Tomorrow the sample file will come, because I don't know if I'm going to modify today or not, right? But normally, yes.
Okay,
tomorrow
cool.
is the Christmas day. I'm going to just talk about just a little bit of a recap of what we did so far. So what we did so far is I want to explain that most of the time you can fix and solve your problem with the reasoning. When you have to forget about FileMaker techniques and forget about going to Google and try to find the custom function that we save your life, or the technique or the sample file you have to forget about this, and sometimes you just have to think. And my technique here, to do that, I apply the same technique that I learned when I was 10, 11 years old. When I was doing, what I was talking about, when I was doing those problem solving on calculus course, right? Like the half spherical tank with a faucet that is filling the tank with how many gallon per minute, so how many minutes you need to fill the tank, right? So it's pretty much this kind of problems, reasoning stuff. So I use the same technique. I just lay down the paper. So yeah, I'm old school. So I'm, I lay down on the paper. And I put all what I need to do, right? And I try to think about simple reasoning, and most of the time I'm solving the problem just by the reasoning instead of using a technique, right? After that, when I have the reasoning, then I can look for the technique, right? So to achieve what I want to do. So that's the first thing that I want to explain with those webinars, is that you need to think about what you want to achieve, what is the problem, and try to figure out something logical that you can apply outside of the boundaries of FileMaker techniques, and then find out which technique you want to use for that. Okay. So the second thing that I want to talk in this webinar is pretty much 99.99% of the time, I solve my problem by bringing things to the ground, to the basic elements of FileMaker. So that what I was saying is, FileMaker has basic elements, like the fire and the wind and stuff. So we have the tables, fields, and data. So records, right? So table, field, records, and values. Those are the four elements, right? No, we don't have the fifth one, not yet. So we have the four elements, fundamental element of FileMaker, which is table, fields, records, and value. Okay, but most of the time, I'm solving the problem by jungling with records and values. And when you use values, and I demonstrate that with FileMaker. So let me share my screen. So this is just a recap, okay? Because we have 2 weeks of I didn't talk for 2 weeks, so I want to recap this. So we have in FileMaker, we have a bunch of when you go here, and you open this, and you just type value. This is all what we have about value. Filter, get, left value, middle. I'm not going to talk about that because I talked about that in the last two webinars. But we can sort unique. We have many value related functions. So we can do a lot with the values. Okay, and here this webinar and this demonstration and this file will be the kind of the temple of values. Okay, it is a temple of values. So let me recap a little bit what I want to do here. So the goal here was to do a schedule. This is what that was the goal, to build a schedule between three guys. Okay, and scheduling of turns, okay, watching turns, okay. So you have a guy in the morning, a guy in the afternoon, and the other guy off, and we have, and I want a turn, a scheduling, a shift of 2 days of the morning for the same guy. Then the same guy switched to 2 days on the afternoon, and then he switched to 2 days off, right? So T1 is the morning, T2 is the afternoon off. When the first guy is doing T1, I want the second guy to do the T2, and the third guy to do off. No time, I want somebody that does, for example, T1, T2, T1, and off. No, I want, and at no time, I want somebody that does, I don't want two T1s in the same day. So I don't want two guys in the morning and nobody in the afternoon. Okay, or I want one guy in the morning, or everybody off. So I don't want that to happen, right? So you can see here we have 2 dimensions. We have the y-axis where we need to, take care of the 1, 1, 2, 2 off, 1, 1, 2, 2 off, and we have the second one that is vertical, that we don't want 2 T1 or 2 offs or 2 T2s or even 3 T1s, right? So we don't want that to happen. So before the people doing this, they were using the extremely bad technique, which was, sorry Kyle, a SQL statement. It was bad because it was populating. Okay, it's not the SQL that was bad. The SQL was okay. The bad thing was to make this first day of the month like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to make that a repeating field. When now this is not a repeating field. So they were everything was fake. everything was data in a repeating field, which is fake. A repeating field cannot be reliable when you have data where you need to take when you need something that you need to gather in the future to do accounting, for example, or to do whatever. You want to reach out of one data in one of those repeating fields. Repeating field is the worst case scenario, and I have something. So this is pretty much repeating field in that position. That's what you get. Okay, so you get the Hindenburg. So we don't want that. Okay. I had another one, but I keep this for later. This is a big one, right? So we don't want that. So we don't want the Hindenburg and we don't want the Chernobyl. So why is not a good thing? Because you need to bring your data to one of the basic elements of FileMaker, which in that case, we need to make each one of the column and each one of the column and each one of the rows, we need to make that something with records. We need to make that a record, because when I have a record, I can make it a value. And when I have a value, I can make it what we call rotated reporting like this. Okay. So I'm going to talk about reporting, rotated reporting tomorrow, but I want to lay down this. I want to explain that you need on each case, you need to lay down your data on something that FileMaker can rely on, and the way to keep data. There's only one way to keep data in FileMaker is records, because values cannot be stored. We have no way to store values. We have only one way to store value is a record. A record is storing value. Can be one value, two values, 10 values, but a record and the field can be, so the hierarchy is this. First, table that hold fields, that hold records, that hold values. Values are stored in record that is on field. Okay, so but you need to bring the value you have on the records. You can use them to many things. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate right now. So how I'm doing this. So last time on the last webinar, I was starting to talk about how I'm doing this. So here we have the script here. So, and I want to show you how simple this is. Okay. So here, what do I need to do to get that working? Okay. To get this done. First of all, I need the current month. The current month is, the month I'm in, like December. I need to know that. I need to know I'm in December. Then here, I need to have a list of scheduling. I have a typo here. I can change it. List of scheduling. Schedule. I'm good? Yeah. Sorry for that. So that's fixed. So I have a list of scheduling, and I have a list of employees ID. I need those things. So pretty much I need the list of 1, 2, 3. I have those 3 records here. They have an ID, a UUID. They have a unique ID, each of the records here, right? And then I have the list of the employees. Each record here has an employee ID. You know, when you go there, you have employee ID, right? And you have the scheduling ID, okay? So for each one, I have this. So I need to collect those. So when I do this, and of course, I have the shift ID. With the shift ID, I'm on the 3x2. Each shift has an ID, okay? When I go to my shift table, I have an ID for each shift. So when, of course, you understand that let's delete this. When I go there and I say, okay, I am on the December and I want the 3x2, selecting this, that will update the ID of the shift and the ID of the mount. So when I do this, now I can generate my stuff and boom, okay? So let's see what I'm doing here, because I'm pretty much what I'm doing here. I am collecting data, values, and I'm bringing them into the memory, and then I can use them when I want, right? That's what I'm doing. So let's debug this script right quick. So let's delete it, and let's debug, okay? So what I'm doing is this. So what I'm doing here what I'm doing, I have my script parameter, I have this. So I have the current shift, it's an ID, right? I have the current, all the scheduling. So I have values separated by this. So this is a technique that I explained last time, to change this, to pass data inside, what's the name? Inside a parameter to get multiple value, an array, to get an array of values into one unique value. This is the right technique to do this. Okay. So pretty much if I go there and I say, okay, I'm on the scheduling IDs. So this is what I have. What I have to do is to do this. I have to substitute this. Okay. This one. I want to replace this character. This is a character I'm using as a separator, and I want to replace by this. So now I have my three values back, okay? But at the origin, I want to send as one value. This is one value. See, look, here, let's say I have this, okay? Let's say I have this. I want to count this. If I count this, what do count, substitute, value count, why it's not doing? Sorry for that. Okay. Value count on this, I have three counts. Okay. I have three values. But if I don't do this, right? If I don't do this, if I do the value count on this, I have one value. So I'm pretty much transforming an array of values into one, okay? Because it's easier for me to send this. Yes, I know I can use JSON to do this, okay? I can use set element and stuff like that. But the day of FileMaker will do that in a easier manner. I will do it. I will use it. But for now, it's not easy at all. I'm sorry for that, but it's not easy. This technique is way more easy to do. You substitute a list of things, and you substitute the carriage return that makes that a value. You substitute by the character you want. You can put blah 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 whatever, right? And then that you do that when you send the parameter, and then you can take it back as in the script that you want to send that to, and then you reverse that. Right? It's much more simpler than the get set JSON piece of blip of FileMaker. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. So FileMaker did a bad job on this. The JSON stuff, I don't like it. I'm sorry. It's my opinion, but I want to share it. You can have your opinion. This way is much simpler and much more readable than the get JSON stuff. JSON is good when you have something very specific, but here, FileMaker is not good at all of creating and generating a JSON file. It's not good, not good at all. So, Clarice, you need to go back to the drawing board on this. So here, you got it. I got all of this, right? So now, I continue my stuff. So here, I want to explain to you the technique I'm using here. Most of the time, the thing you cannot do, right away. For example, when you want to build a wall, for example, right? And sometimes you need to put the blaster, to put the thing on the wall, and you apply the thing on the wall. You let it dry, and then you sand it to make it flat, right? but you didn't try to get it flat at the first time. First you build a wall, with the rock sheet, right? Then you put the bands, to hide the joints, and then you apply the plaster, right? And then you sand it. So you have multiple phases. You don't try to do everything at once, okay? You don't try to do everything at once. Or you don't build a wall with the paint already applied to it, right? So with FileMaker, sometimes you need to apply the same logic. Okay, so we talk about using the same, using basic logic reasoning, right? So here is a good reasoning. I don't want to make things at once. Let's do step by step. First, let's build the wall. Okay, you cannot apply the paints before you have the wall, right? And you cannot do the opposite neither. So first of all, I need the wall. What in that case, okay, my wall is the month. I need the days of the month, because if I don't have this, I cannot do it. So let's build the month. So now I have the month. So the records I built 30 records or 31 records based on the month. In that case, 31. I built 31 records for each of my 3 guys. So I built 93 records, 3 times 31. So I built 93 records. So the month is ready. So my walls are there, my walls are there. They are there. You can see them, they are here. Okay. So now that I built this, I can take, what's the name? I can take the dates, all of the dates, because I need that in order to continue with my script here, in order to build the calendar, to generate the calendar. In order to generate the calendar, I wanted to know what was the first day of the month, what was the second day of the month, the third, etc. I wanted to know that the first day of the month was a Wednesday. Pretty much I want the dates. I want the 1st of December as to the 31 of December. I wanted the list. Of my dates. So now that I have this, I couldn't do anything before because I didn't get my month list before. So let's imagine something like this. Let's imagine you want to build something like this, and you want to do everything at once. You want to do the calendaring at once. It's more complicated because here it's more, what's the name? It's logic. Okay, I build my days. They're empty records. They're just simple days. They're empty. I cannot go to my, oh no, because I'm running a script. But anyway, I have my list. My list of days are here. Let's see my list of days. So now you can see I have all my values here. You know what I told you? I told you I have records. I generate records, and then when I generate records, I want to take them out, my records, my values, and I want to create values in the memory, in variables. In memory, I have values. Why? And I'm going to show you why. Okay? So I have the list of days. They are here. I have my list of days, and you can see they are all with my separation. They are all with my separation. They are one values. This is one value, but I can do what I want because I can do with my value. Remember when I told you I have a bunch of tools in my toolbox here. Bunch of tools based on values. See, look what you have based on records. You have absolutely nothing based on record. You are, because those are not something. Yeah, active record active. Here you cannot do. here you have no way to act on records. You have no ways to get something, or remove something, transform. You have no ways to do something on record. But on values, whoa. On values, I have a bunch of good stuff here where I can use, right? So I have my value, my list of days. Okay, this is my list. What can I do? Oh, I want the fourth day. So, for example, what do I do? So, first of all, I need to change this unique value. I need to make it a list of values. So, I substitute my personal, my favorite character of separation. Okay, and I want to replace it by this, So now I have values back. And out of this, I want to get, so I have my list of values, I want to get the 5 days, right? Right? You see what I mean? It's impossible to do that with records, I mean, so now that we have this, we have the value in memory. So, and I can do even more than this, I can do, like I said, like I did last time, I did this, so I want this. Okay. So I have this. So I want, for example, from that list, my list of things. So what I want, middle value, I want from the day 5th and I want 10 days. So from the 5th to the and I want 10 days, but I want +1, but because if you want to include the 15 or not. But I have 10 days out of my list, or I want 2 days, So you understand what I mean? I can do what I want with those values. Okay? So it is important for the following steps. Now that I have this, okay, I want to show you how to debug. I showed you last time, but I want to show you again how to debug a script on server. How to debug, because this is a big question that I have for many people. How to debug a script on server, because you cannot do anything. When the debugger here, because FileMaker didn't want to, Claris didn't at the time. They had an idea. They wanted to do that. They want to do what they call remote script debugger. Remote script debugger. It was a super good stuff that I worked with Vin, Adala, and other guys that not are FileMaker anymore. But we want to do the remote script. The remote debugger, and got killed. But now we don't have it. But what happened here? Absolutely nothing. When you do this, perform script on server, BIM, I am in the debugger, but I don't see anything, right? I don't see anything. I see absolutely nothing happening. So how can I debug this? Okay. So let's open the script and let's kill it. What I want to do here is this. When I want to debug a script on server, you deactivate this script and you activate those two. So pretty much what you do is you open a new window in the context where the script needs to be, right? So you open a new window in the context where this script needs to be. This script needs to be in the T03 calendar. This script needs to land in the T03 calendar. Okay. So you do that. Okay. Your new window. And you perform script. You don't perform script on server. You perform the same script with the same parameter as this one. Okay? So now it's fully debuggable. It will perform locally, but as it was running on server. Now you have to be careful on this because it is true without to be true. Okay? But I'm not going to enter the discussion of PSOs. But pretty much what you need to make sure is that all the globals, all what the script will need, especially globals, you need to make sure that the server is running the same type of execution as the beginning of the file. For example, my development most of the time needs a lot of globals to be filled in order to get a relationship to work and stuff like that. So you need to make sure that the server is executing this when you launch that. Okay, we can have another webinar about this. Okay, about the PSOs. Okay, but now pretty much now I can debug it. So I'm here. So this one I don't. And now I'm going to debug my script here. So I have a new window popping, right? And now, bim, I am in the PSO generate calendar, and I can debug it as I can simulate the script on server. It's a simulation, okay? So we have a question here. Okay, load. That does sound very good. I guess Santa will struggle to fly it down the chimney.
The one after that one, you're good. What do you need to open a new window in the target layout?
What do you need to open in a new window in the target layout? What do you need, or why do you need? What do you need? Oh, why? Okay, why? Okay, because it's okay. Because it's cleaner. I tell you why. Most of the time, my developments. They have plenty of stuff in here on record load, on commit. Pretty much, I have all my development has something on record load, all of them. They have something on commit. They have many has something on layout keystroke. All of them have something on layout enter. So you don't want those to perform on. It's just because when you do something like this, new window in the same, and then you go to the layout you want, it's not clean. That's all. I don't like it. Especially now we have the new window that is just because it's cleaner, and you don't have all those on record load and on trigger, on all the trigger that pops. Make sense? Okay, makes sense. Okay, cool. Okay, it's cleaner when because when you want to debug something, you want to get concentrated. You don't want an on record load to pop. You don't want an on layout to pop. You don't want an on whatever, to pop. You want to be, so that when you do new window, you have nothing. It's clean, right? So that's why I'm doing this. So, but the question was good, by the way. The question was good, but it's just because it's cleaner. It's not, polluting your because most of the time when you do a debugging, it's kind of complicated. So you want to make sure. So I'm doing this. Bam, 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 bam. I'm doing. Pop. I need to destroy this, otherwise it will be crazy. So I debug this. More. Pim. New window, and now I can debug my stuff. So remember what I told you. I said, okay, I'm sending parameters as unique values, and then I'm taking this value, right? The value 1, the value 2, the value 3, and I'm switching back to an array of values, right? So I love this technique because it's really, really simple to read. You can see, right? It's very, really. At one point, I want to make that a get parameter. I want to get array. I want to get parameter array. I want to create a new custom function because I have a custom function that get parameter value, and I want to get a new one. I'm going to create a new one that get parameter array. Okay, so I'm going to build one. Okay. So I'm switching my unique. Okay, so it's a good demo. This is my parameters. So also it's a good thing. I have always here. See, I have those in my watch. I have those 3 on top because they are always. I have the most, interesting thing I need for my development on first. So pretty much here, I know this is my parameter. So this is the parameter the script is receiving. Okay, so that's why it's kind of cool to have this, right? Because you can debug, you can see. So this is my parameter, and if I did this, I say, okay, value count on my parameter, I have 3 values, right? But what I want to do with my parameter, I want to get the value you know, I want to get the value. I want to substitute, for example, of my get parameter, you know, on the get value, on the get parameter value. This let's use my on the first one. I want to substitute my stuff here by this. Okay, so I got those three. Okay, and then if I want, I can say, oh, get value of this list of value. I want the second one, or I want the first, or I want the third, right? Or I want to know, oh, by the way, how many value do I have here? Okay, how many value I have this on this value count substitute? Okay, what am I missing? Oh, 3 values. It is important because this is for the looping stuff. Okay, so but let's continue. So you got the point here. I'm getting multiple values. I'm transforming that in one value, and then in the target script, I'm changing this as an array of values, right? What is the discussion here? See, there less calculation not related to exactly. Yeah, David and you're right. Okay, so as usual. So now I have my script here, so I can continue. And now you can say here, you can see here, say, okay. By the way, I will have multiple loops here, you know. So I need to know the value count. And so can you imagine that you're not using values? You're not using like this technique of bringing everything as value. We have value counts. We have a list of value. We have a get value. We have all those things that we don't have on the record level, right? So what do you want? You want to use perform finds, and you want to use Kyle's SQL. No, I'm kidding, but you know what I mean. So this is 100% FileMaker. And it's basic FileMaker. This is like a 5-year-old can understand what I'm doing here. So, and in terms of performance, tell me what is hurting performance here. Tell me. What is hurting performance so far? Can you find one thing that is hurting performance? None. Absolutely none. Okay. So, I continue my stuff. So, I'm setting, okay, now I'm entering the deep thing. I'm setting a global field. Why? With the current shift. Why? Because doing so, now I am activating a relationship. So now I'm back to records. So I went to the values, I took a value, and I'm bringing back to the record level. Right, I'm bringing down one level in the hierarchy. You remember table, fields, records, values. I'm on value now. I'm switching up to one level because on the record level I have a magic wand. The magic wand named relationships. I don't have relationship based on values. SQL is a relationship management based on values. Right, Carlos? I'm right? Right. But FileMaker has its own relationship system based on records. So, because I want to use FileMaker basic elements, I'm going back one step up and I'm bringing down a value inside a global, and I'm using that to populate a relationship, the TO3F, okay, which is going back to a shift item. So what the shift item? Okay, so the shift item it's where I have all the construction of my scripts I have all the logic. The shift item is where, okay, I don't know if I can go from here. I think so. Yeah, is there to make the thing happen. Okay, so you need to follow me here. To make the thing happen, I have my 3x2 shift, what it is. I have 2 days of T1, 2 days of T2, and 2 days of off. So I'm building, right? 2, 2, 2, right? 2 of T1, 2 of T2, 2 of T, or 2 of the off. Those are records. You can see they are records. So I can go there. So what is the? So I can go there. I can go to the table, and I want to go to the list item. So if I go there, I want to show you this. Well, I think I need to kill this for now. In order to continue, right? So you got the point. At one point in my script, I said I am in the shifts 3x2. So I am in this shifts. Let's go back to shifts. I am in the 3x2 shift, which is, hold on, this ID. So I am in this shift. Okay. So I'm going there and I'm searching for this. So this is my free record. I have this one, this one, this one. Okay. So I have T1, T2, and off. Okay. Here I'm saying 2 day off, 2 T2, and 2 T1. What? So 2, 2, 2. This is here. See, this here is this number. So see, T1, if I'm putting 3 here, I'm changing here, right? Okay. So I want to build a way to make sure that I will have a loop in the future that will do 2 times of T1, 2 times of T2, 2 times of T time, 2 times of T off, 2 times of off, day off. So 2, 1, 1 of T1, 1, 1 of T2, 1, 1 of T off. I want the loop to tell me this. How do you want that to happen? To tell the loop to do 2 times of 1, 2 times of 2. And here we have the basic, we go back to the basic reasoning. Because I learned since 35 years now that I'm doing FileMaker stuff, I learned that values are my best friend. I learned that, values is, my best friend. So let's create more of my best friends because they are my best friend. So I want them more. You want more of your best friends. You don't want less. So I don't want the loop to say, repeat twice this. No. Hear what I'm doing. I say I want 2 times of T3. So this is the ID of T. This is the ID of the shift item T1, right? This is the ID. Okay, I have a calc that put 2 times this ID. I want 3 times. Okay, 3. I want 10 times. 10. So now you understand the trick here. I will have a simple loop that will say, take this, take this, take this, take this, take this, and it will do as many times I want. I said 10 times. He has the 10 times. If I want 2 times, it will just do 1 loop, super simple. Because at the end, what I'm going to do. So I have the same for T1. I have the same for T2. Now, you need to know something. As you can see here, I have 1, 2, 3. I want T1 first, T2 second, and the off. If I want to start with the off, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. Then my system will start with the off because I put the off on first, right? Let's say I want to start my shift with T2. I'm doing the same. You understand? So now it will be T2. Why? Because FileMaker is great when you know it. It's great when you know all the little simple, the little details, right? The little details. You have one function in FileMaker, one stuff in FileMaker that is awesome. Because it's again, it's value related. It's my best friend, my very best. This is my, okay, I want to marry with it. Okay. First of all, because I was one of the, inspirator, a guy for this claim I kill work, by the way. You can, thank him. Okay. Can thank him. It's the list off. This, I want to marry with list off. I'm married with list off, to be honest with you. So list off is my best friend. I have the list of this. Because the list of, I'll show you something. I will show you something and you will, what? Remember I have a relationship with, this global field. What does relationship do? It's going to get me this. Okay. This. Two of this, and two of this. So let's check. Is that real? So 7683 is T1. 3663 and 74. Okay. So let's see if it's true. See that the first one? Oh, I have it here, by the way. The second one should be 3663. It is. And the third one should be 74. Okay. So now I have let's make that, because I have it for my my debug purposes. Okay. So now I have this. This is my list of. List of will select the current font set or the current relationship. Okay? It work well on font set when you are in the current what's the name? In the current table. But when you are in a related table, it works well on the relationship as well. That means a relationship from another table can go there and select this, right? But there's another good thing. It's based on the what's the name? It's based on the order. It's based on the order. Let me show you. This, I have 78, it's around 76, 36, 74, okay? That's my order. Now I'm changing this. I want to start with the off. I want second, and I want what's the name? T2, T1, oops, and this. So this is what I want. Off, 1, 2. That's what I want my shift to change like this. Okay. So now let's do this. Bam. Now it changed. It's not the same, and it's true. It's the first day off, 74. The second one, is T1, 7638, and the third one is T2, 3663. So now you get the point that this is where you can manage. So can you imagine how crazy this is? Because I can play with this. I can say, oh, I want that first, that, and then, okay, I can have this. I want 2 days of this. Let's say I want 3 of those, 2 and 2. No problem. My system is going to do it. I want 3 of those, 2, and I can say, oh, I want 3 of those, and those guys only 1. Because it's week based, so it needs to be okay. So my system is going to do it. It's going to make my 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. 3, 3, 1, right? So I'm not trying to use the scripts to make everything on the screen. No, I'm preparing things. I said, whoa, what is your favorite dish? Oh, no, burger. Okay, you want a burger? Okay, here you have a burger. You have the bread, you have the meat, and you have the cheese. No problem. You have your burger. I'm giving you a burger because it's your favorite dish. Okay. So here what we do. So now you understand the principle. I am feeding my script, and I'm pre-feeding my script with, I'm pre-feeding my script with what he wants. I want values. I'm addicted to values. I want values. Give me values. That's what your script will tell you all the time. Give me values. We want values, right? Okay, so, that was Nixon stuff. Okay, so, a little bit of history. So, we want values, right? So, now back to my script. So, I think you understand. So, by the way, in the script, in this sample file, you will get how I'm building this, right? Well, how I'm building the shift list, right? So I'm using a pretty much very simple while function, that repeats the ID item on the number of days, So I have the thing that repeats itself. So this is a while function. So if you want to learn while, this is the simplest one you can find in the market. Okay. So and that's to create this. So now that I have this explained to you, okay, I can go back to my scripts, and debug it. So let's delete this. Let's delete this. Okay, let's debug it again. So you understand what's going on. So now I have this. So I'm creating my walls. I'm going there. So now I have my days. Okay, I'm going there. I'm making my relationship working. And now I have the list of, of shift item. Okay. I have my list of, I'll just show you. Okay. So I have this, and I'm doing a kind of a little bit cleanup on this, right? Because it wasn't clean. So I do a little bit of cleanup. I'm removing extra, what's the name? Carriage return. I could do that before, but I learned that it was easier for me to read them to debug with the carriage return that was separating so pretty much I'm using a bug of my technique as my advantage, and I'm cleaning the bug after, default, and I'm cleaning it later. So I have my list of items ID. But here the catch. List of item, right? List of item ID. List of item ID. Why I have this? Yeah, I'm repeating many times the same thing. So I have, 2, 2, 2, and again 2, 2, 2, and again 2, 2, 2, and again 2, 2, 2. Pretty much each of those will be 1 day. Each of those will be 1 day. So what do I do here? I have another while function. That is repeating the 2, 2, 2, the 6. I'm repeating it in order to get 31 day of it. So I'm getting here list of shifts. I'm using the same technique of the same while to repeat it, to repeat those as many times to fill up 30 days or 31. Okay. So because now this is it. I have everything here. So now what I'm doing here, I continue. So I get my 2, 2, and 2. I multiply this to make these 6 rows to fill up like 30 days. So that's why I have this while function here. I don't know if I can go to the script while I'm debugging. I think so. So this one. So this while function here, right? So I'm taking I'm cleaning it, and then I'm repeating as many times I need. Okay, and I'm repeating the same thing, right? So when I have this, I have the list, the shift day list. So what is the shift day list? Remember, I said 222. It's the list of how many days I have. I have 2 days, 41, 2 days, 42, 2 days for day off. Okay? So I have the list of this. I have the list of this. Very important. I have the list, again, a list of values. I have to, okay, it's 222, but it could be 321 or 212 or whatever. Okay? But here is 222. I have the list of this. It's very important. And now, I have the list of weeks, of their weeks. So I have my list of their weeks. So what is this? And I have the current holiday. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't have it. This is for tomorrow. Sorry, this is tomorrow. This is tomorrow. Okay. So, because I'm already late. But I want to continue this. So forget about those two. This is for tomorrow. Let's say I have this and this. So I have my 30 days of items that I repeat as, 222 and again 222 and again 222 and again 2 as just to have the month fill up. Okay. And then what I'm doing here, I have a loop. Okay. Very simple. I have a loop. So let's go to the. I should have cleaned. Let's clean up this first, because I can destroy everything here. Delete all. Okay. Let's make it cleaner. Okay. Okay. Delete. Okay. Empty. Okay. Cool. Let's clean up. Okay. So let's start again. This. Bam, 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 bam. I'm creating my month. Bam, bam, bam. I'm creating everything. Okay, I have my days. Bam, bam, bam. So I have my 93 days. See, they're ready, right? I have my records are ready. 93 records. 30 for one guy. 30 for another guy, and 30 for the other guy. Okay, 31. So I have my days. I have my list of turns, okay, my shifts, T1, T2, 2 of T1, 2 of T2, 2 off, 2 of T1, 2 of T2, 2 off, 2 of T1, etc. to do all the month. And then I'm going there. I want to make sure, because remember, I am in the server. So I need to make sure that I will retrieve my 93 days based on the current thing I'm doing, right? So I want to make sure that I retrieve my babies. So I'm not using a perform file. I'm using the transfer of font set stuff. But you have a video on this, and I'm going to. So now I'm doing this. This is the first guy. The first guy is Alex Gomez. It's the first guy, Alex Gomez. That's the first guy, okay? So the first guy, I want to treat him. The first guy, it will be the guy that will take. So I'm building the second list. I have a first list of items, 2. And then I'm building another one based on the first guy, okay? So here, I have the current shift days. The current shift days, I don't have it because it's the first day. So I don't have the current shift day. It's the first. So current shift day, I shouldn't have it. No, I don't. Current shift day, I don't. No, because it's the first. So I don't have, this is for the second one. So the first one won't get anything because it's the first. Okay. So, but I have the current shift day and I have the list of item by employee. This is my list of items. It's my list of turns. So 222 for the first guy. It starts with the 7683, which is the T1. Okay. Now that I have my list, I have a simple, very simple replace. Look what happened here. Bim. So this replace will take the first value of that list. Okay, sorry. The first value of that list, and we put that in the record number 1. That is the second in the record number 2. So I'm bringing the value, right? I'm bringing the value, and I'm replacing. I'm getting the value based on the record number. That the replace. So I have 2 of this, 1, 2, 2 of this, 2 of this, right? So I have now 2 of T1, 2 of T2, 2 of T1, T2 of T1, T2 of T1, T2 of T1, T2 of, just until the end of the month. Now I'm taking care of the second guy. So the second guy, now my counter move, I have a counter, and with that counter here, I'm getting the guy number 2. I'm going to here. I'm getting the ID of the guy number 2. I'm setting that field, and I'm doing the go to red record to get the second guy, which is Daniel Franco. Okay, so that's my second guy. Daniel Franco is here. So the second guy, what do I want here? Now I have a current shift day. Now it's there. Current shift day. Where is it? Current shift day. Oh, current shift day is 2. Why? Hear what I'm doing right now. Now, based on that list, I'm getting a new list. I'm getting a new list. What is this list? Haha. What is this list? It's not starting with 76 anymore. It's starting with 36. Look the calculation here. I took that list and I shifted 2 values down. I take the middle value, I take this list, I start with the record number 3, and then I'm counting the number of days I need. So I remove the 2 first records, and now my new list starts with start with this. If you take this here, here. No, what's the name of the list? List of items. List of items. The first here is start with 76. Now I said with the middle value, I said start from here. Right? I said switch to, because I said 2 days of T1, so I want the next shift to start 2 days later, which is this one. Okay? So look what happened. So I have my replace, and now I'm starting with T2s. T2 of T1, T1 of T1. I'm starting with T2. Now I'm doing the same for the third guy. So this is the third guy. Okay, the first guy is Nick Hunter. Okay, the first. Okay, Nicholas. So what I'm doing here, I'm saying current shift day. Current shift day. Okay, current shift day. Where is the current? Oh, current shift day. I can't see. Okay, it's 4. Why is 4? It's 2 plus 2, right? This is why I'm doing this, right? It's 2 plus 2, because it's the current shift day plus whatever the next one is. So you remember my list here? You remember my list here? I said 2, 2, 2, right? So the first will be this, right? The first is 0. The second guy is 2. The third guy will be 2 plus 2. Okay, it will be 2 plus the next one, right? So now it's 4. So now I am replacing this, and I'm taking this value list, this list of valuable, and I'm moving 4 down, not 2, not 0. It's 4 down, right? So now I replace, and you guessed it, I'm starting with day off. So by the end of the day, now I have, like by magic, 2, 2, 2, and then the next one is switch 2 down, 2 off, and then like this. This is how you did. So it's with this technique here, with a basic technique, because actually, I'm sorry, but they say that, but the script does absolutely nothing. Nothing happened on this script, because this, when I say nothing happened, is nothing that can tell me where the performance can get down. Replacing this with a get value of the variable. This is like that's why it's instant, because I'm performing this to make sure that it's even faster. I'm performing this on server, right? So now you understand the logic here. The logic here is that I'm pre-feeding my script with things that the script needs to get. First, I'm taking care of the month. Secondly, I'm taking care of the shift. I said I want 2 days or 3 days or 4 days or whatever. I want 2 days, and I'm creating 2 times the same ID. A list will have 2 times the same ID, right? Or 3 times the same ID. Because then after that, my stuff is just replacing getting the value of a list, and then I can shift. I take the first and I remove the 2 first, and I remove the 4 first, and then I have the thing coming in. Okay, and we test with the people doing this, and we test it on all the scenario here. All the shift they have, right? And it works like a charm. So before we go to the question, I don't know if we have question here, but before we go to the question, tomorrow we are going to see how I'm doing this. How I'm doing. First of all, this here, it's a Sunday. I don't know why. Let me regenerate this. Okay. Yeah, I know why. Because it needs to be on server. So I'm going to deactivate this and activate this. So I want the thing to perform on server. Generate. Okay. What? Oh, shit. Okay. So this is a Sunday. This is a Sunday. This is a Sunday. So I want to show you how I'm doing this to make sure that I can show, the Sunday as, I have something to differentiate the Sunday. And I want something that differentiate the, holidays. So how I'm doing this. And again, with the same technique of value. So, Mark, do we have any question before we land the plane?
We do have some questions, Nick. Sorry, give me a second. I was getting rid of some YouTube spam. Okay, so we have a question from much earlier. UK lad or Simon is interested in seeing the relationship diagram, specifically about some of your globals.
Yeah, my relationship is there. So, for the global, the T03F?
Yes.
Okay. This. So I have the current shift. Okay. So the ID of the main, I have shifts here. So this is simple. I have shifts, and then I have related items. Shift. What this shift is made of. So I want to make sure with my relation, the T03F, what is from a global, I'm putting the ID of this guy, and then I'm getting those 3 records. That's what I'm doing. It's very simple. It's a very simple, things here. Okay. So,
looks like that answered his question. Awesome. Thank you. And then hold on. I'm scrolling up. So this is kind of like a clarification comment, but I'm just going to ask it like a question. So rather than just reference fields, you have gained the ability to manipulate data in groups that you can't do cleanly with fields.
Yes, exactly. So let's talk about the records. Okay, it's not field. I know, but okay. Who said that? What the name of the?
Bill.
Bill. Okay, Bill. You said field, but I think you meant records. Yes, records is much complicated to move. Records is like it's like you want to move. It's like you want to move like a chest full of things. Values is like, oh, I need, you go to you go to the kitchen and you say, oh, I want, 2 plates and 2 fork. So you take them and you have but you don't have to carry the closet with you. You know what I mean? So the record is heavy. And we don't have a lot of manipulation possibilities. It's kind of very heavy, and that's why FileMaker, Claris, brought SQL in the equation, because SQL is where you can manipulate records without manipulate records, but that's the point. It's without manipulating records. And unfortunately, FileMaker, the basic element of FileMaker is records. This is where you store. It's the storage. It's the closet. So you cannot do the economy of records because you have no way to store anything. So, pretty much, so yes, values, you saw everything I'm doing with values. All of this in my script here, I'm all of this, everything that I have here highlighted in blue is value related. Only the line 28 is record related. Only this one, because this is where I'm bringing down the values that I'm creating, into records. This is where replace is doing this. Replace, I'm going to set a field with a bunch of values. Right? I'm going to set replace. I'm going to set a found set of records based on one field with multiple values. So, yeah. Next question.
The last question, I think, you visualized all of this in your mind ahead of coding?
You visualize what?
He's asking if you visualized all of this in your mind before coding, or did you write it out? Did you set it up?
I'm writing. Okay, like I said, most of the time I am resolving problems with simple reasoning. You need to bring down complexity. You cannot fix complexity with with complexity. It is not possible. If you have complexity, the only way you have to resolve that is simplicity. So you need to bring down. What I'm doing is I'm writing down. Say, okay, I have a turn that shift 2 days, right? When I say writing down, pretty much I use Excel, to visualize things. So pretty much I put my month on top like this, and I say, okay, I have a T1 and T2, and say, oh, wait a minute. So I saw the thing coming because I trained my brain for, it's like now 20 years that I'm using values a lot, because I realized that FileMaker has a lot of goodness with, I show you the value, get value, middle value, left value, right value, So we have all those tools and say, wow, we can jungle in the air with those things, right? So we can do things. Yes, I'm visualizing things, but because it's simple, it's simple. What I did in Excel, I put down the T1, T2, T2 of like this, and I say, oh, if I move down, click like this, and move down, click, and I say, oh, it's going to change automatically like this. And so it's, yeah, exactly. So UKLab, yeah. So it's pretty much what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is that I'm giving you my 35 years of experience. So that's true. And most of the people say, okay, you know, you giving the recipe of the Coca-Cola, say, oh, whatever. It's not, it's not, it's not where I'm making my, it's not good to hold the knowledge. I like to share it. And don't worry, I will come with other good recipe. Don't worry about that. And it never ends. Every day, last week I learned something. So I created a new technique last week for something, and I'm going to share with you one day, right? I create something. I create a new way, completely crazy to do things, because I need it, right? So, and, I tell you something. You need to, the key of those webinars, this session was to explain, to use value. Use value. Use value. You need to use this. You need to train yourself. You have data on your, you have data. You need to bring that out and list. That's why I'm a list guy. I'm a list guy. I have a, like I used to say, I'm married with list off, and I have and I have an affair with list, the function. Okay. So, because this is my stuff, right? It's, because it saved me so much all the time, right? And so yeah, list. You need to go to the values. Oftentimes we start with an idea and what we want is to involve over time. Yeah. Yes, Bill, you're right. It's very. If you change your mind and you start thinking with values, tomorrow when you get that file, you will play with a little bit with what you will do. Look how many list stuff I'm doing. List. It's always list of something. It's list of values. It's a value list. It's a list of items. It's always list of current. It's always a value. It's always a value. Okay, because you open so much. It's opened you so much, and it's fast as hell because everything I'm doing it without calculation, without things on the table, right? Everything is in the air, so that's why it's super fast, So try to do this with another way. It's very complicated, right? So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the summary, the list of summary. The summary item, this guy here, the summary here, the list of here. You need to learn this. You need a list. It's if in my life, if that would be a physical button, the label on top of it will be faded off because I'm using it so much, right? It's crazy how powerful this is because it's font set related. It works with font set. It works with relationship. Remember the T03F? It works on relationship. It works on what's the name? On sort. So it's extremely powerful. Yeah. Okay, so I think we're good to go.
I think we are good. Thank you very much, Nick. No, this is very thorough. I never failed.
So tomorrow we do the last one. Tomorrow I'm not going to repeat myself like I did today. So you need to watch all those courses, okay, all those webinars from day one to understand everything. But tomorrow we're going to learn those how I'm doing the day off and stuff like this.
And tomorrow is also the day when you get the sample file of joy that people keep.
Tomorrow is the 21st, so it will be a day before Christmas.
It'll be a Christmas gift.
A Christmas gift, yes.
Okay, seriously, Nick, thank you so much. This is brilliant. We greatly appreciate it. And now I'm going to run the closing music. Goodbye, Nick.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!